Why are white liberal women always like this? Why? Shoot me. Guys, why? What is it? What is it? Is it in the water? Is it the SSRIs? I don't know, but we have got a new video coming out of Minneapolis from the ICE officer's perspective you're not going to want to miss. Welcome back to Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. I'd say happy Friday, but it's not really. It's not really, actually, because there has been more drama with regard to law enforcement officials coming into cities and making them safer. It's not just what happened in Minnesota with the ICE officer and the ICE-involved shooting, which we will get to because seriously, when you see this new video, there are so many more issues that I have with all of what you're about to watch unfold. So there was also another shooting in Portland. This was Customs and Border Patrol agents who ended up shooting 2 people. And cue the liberal outrage. Oh my gosh, 2 more people were shot. And this time by Border Patrol. What were they even doing in Portland? Well, here's the thing. Turns out the 2 people who were shot are, just suspected terrorists. They're just 2 terrorists. Well, why can't why can't just 2 terrorists just roam around this country freely? Why you gotta cramp their style? Here from Homeland Security, yesterday, 2 suspected Tren de Aragua gang associates let loose on American streets by Joe Biden weaponized their vehicle against Border Patrol in Portland. The agent took immediate action to defend himself and others, shooting them. And then they go on to name the driver of the vehicle, Luis David Nico Moncada. Again, you don't have to have that many names. Just pick 3 maximum and just go with that. Criminal illegal alien from Venezuela and suspected Tren de Aragua gang member. He illegal entered the U.S. in 2022, released into the country, of course, by the Biden regime. Since then, model citizen here, arrested for DUI and unauthorized use of a vehicle, and he has a final order of removal. And then his wife, I guess, Yorlenis Betsabeth Zambrano Contreras, I think my point remains, a criminal alien from Venezuela and is associated with Tren de Aragua. She also entered in 2023 near El Paso, released right on into the country by the Biden administration. And by the way, since she got here illegally, she's played an active role in a Tren de Aragua prostitution ring. Also was involved with the prior shooting in Portland. Wow, doesn't that look lovely? You want to pay for that? Now, the most perfect part of this story is that it was like the story's released. It's a husband and wife that were shot by Border Patrol. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And then there was an image of the 911 call on the police monitor that was leaked out. So the rumor is that Antifa, you've got Antifa like working in 911 dispatch, and they leaked out the screen of the computer where you could see all of this. And liberals were trying to, of course, inflame the situation. It listed where the people were, where the ICE officer was. They're like, go rush to dox this guy. And the number that called 911, they actually called 911. Imagine being a Tren de Aragua gang member and calling 911 to get help because a Border Patrol agent shot you because you tried to run him over. Imagine the audacity. That is quite the customer service that these Tren de Aragua members think that they get in the United States. But turns out someone ran that number from the wife, and it turns out she's listed on all of these escort services. So yeah, sorry. Would you pay for that? Would you pay for that? I don't know. So this is just to add insult to injury to her because she's disgusting and a criminal and doesn't need to be here. But you've got all these Democrat officials who are now trying to cause a scene in Portland. Imagine, if you will. Who will they not defend? Who will these people not go to great lengths to defend? Illegal gang members, violent criminals, only if they're illegal or black, not any white ones. Pedophiles, sexual assaulters. They will go to great lengths to defend all of these illegals as long as they have a lengthy rap sheet. And so you've got all of these Democrats in Portland that are coming out and they're making very strong statements. Don't you dare think about releasing. Don't you dare think about taking away our Tren de Aragua members. Don't you dare. They're vital to the community. Don't you take them away from us. We love them. They're ours now. And I want to play one of these in particular. The Democrat state senator from Oregon, Casey Jama, I guess his name is. You'll notice something very interesting about his speech.
Let me say to this, to the federal agencies and the ICE.
Yes?
This is Oregon. We do not need you. You're not welcome. And you need to get the hell out of our community.
Okay, so first of all, you don't get to tell any American to get the hell out of your community when you can't even speak English. Okay, I think that's what you said. I can't be sure because of how thick your accent is, but I'm just going to go ahead and say he was like the long pause as he was trying to remember how to say the thing he was trying to say in English. You don't get to stand up there and tell American law enforcement officials that they need to leave. You don't get to do that. You can't even speak English, sir. By the way, I wonder if there are any other reasons why you don't want ICE there, sir. Okay, so you've got what's happening over in Portland now. And now we have new information about this Minneapolis, Minnesota incident with Renee Good, who everyone I know, her last name's Good, so she must be good. The Democrats are trying to paint her as this. She was a poet. She was practically Dr. Seuss. She was such a kind and benevolent person. And you have Adam Schiff trying to gaslight us into even after now what we know with the new video that I'm about to show you. You've got Adam Schiff, just like she was just a delicate little flower who was simply at the wrong place at the wrong time, by no fault of her own, at the wrong place at the wrong time.
I was struck by a few things. First of all, it's horrifying to watch. And to think about this 37-year-old woman drops her kid off at school, not involved in protest activity or anything, seems to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But at one point, she's waving other cars to come on past, trying to make sure that she's not in the way, although she's been pulled over.
Sure.
And then you see her trying to turn away from these officers.
Sure.
And the shots fired into the car.
Right. Sure. No, she was not. She just, oopsies. She just found herself at that place all afternoon. We already had the witness yesterday who was like, yeah, they were here. I mean, they were harassing, they were stalking the agents all day. She did what she came to do. That was her goal, was to cause a problem, was to impede ICE's ability to do their official duty. But Adam Schiff has spoken. She was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. There's a problem with that, though. She wasn't just a legal observer. She's actually known to the community as an ICE watch warrior. They say she trained to resist feds. I believe we have this headline. There it is. Trained to resist feds before the shooting. She went through all of these like Antifa-style trainings to be this like crazy leftist activist to prevent the feds from being able to do their jobs. That's who she was. I'd say that's not the wrong place at the wrong time. And on top of that, here's the latest video. This is from the ICE agent's perspective, who was hit by her car. And you'll notice, as soon as she starts, she realizes I'm going to hit this guy. Her wife, who has just bailed from the car, because who else is going to take the video for likes and clicks online later? Her wife has bailed from the car, and she's out there with her phone, and she's harassing the agents, and you'll hear her wife say, "Drive, baby, drive." So here, this is the ICE agent holding the camera. Here is the car. Renee is behind the wheel.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you.
That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former.
Can you come talk to us later?
You wanna come at us?
As we'll be here all
You wanna
day.
come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Drive, baby, drive. You're there to harass them. You're there to cause problems. You're there to do exactly what you just did. Go around and find out. That's where I'm at. It sucks that she's dead. I hate that she's dead. That sucks. The worst part about it is that her son or daughter, her 6-year-old, is now orphaned. That sucks. I hate that for that child. I hate that that child did not have to not grow up, already lost a father, did not have to grow up without a mother. Now, sounds like she was a total nut job, so I don't know. But what else did you think was going to happen? You've got this like butch-ass lesbian getting out like, oh, we're good, go get some lunch, big boy. Drive, baby, drive. Well, she did. She did. Congratulations. You got what you asked for. Okay? On top of that, I mean, I'm just like, don't bring this to trial. I don't want that officer to go through it. But it's like, boy, it would just be such an incredible thing to have this go to trial and to play all of these pieces of evidence that show that it's like, oh, wrong place, wrong time. Think again. Think again. There's the Daily Mail released a video showing she got there 4 minutes earlier. As I mentioned, stops, lets her wife out of the car so they could get their Instagram likes. So she could start recording everything and harassing the ICE agents and recording herself harassing the ICE agents. Big boy. And then it shows when she drove off, she backed up and sped towards the officer. So she was there. Wrong place, wrong time. In fact, she waited until she got to the middle of the road, as you can see, and just forgot how to drive. That's what that was, I guess. She didn't mean to. She just actually forgot how to drive and ended up staying there for 4 minutes. And then she remembered again as soon as the ICE agent was in front of her. I mean, give me a break already. Give me a break. Now, I'm willing to say, because I am rather benevolent, actually, not like the left, I am willing to say, I'm sure if she could speak right now to us, she would say that she made a mistake. I would hope that she would say, I would have done things differently if I had it to do over again. And that's fine. You can say she made a mistake in the heat of the moment. And unfortunately, she's no longer with us. But the officer, you cannot argue, did not have a right to defend himself. That's what you're not allowed to do. Now, despite the overwhelming evidence that I just showed you, that she was there to agitate, that she was there to harass, that she was there to block federal officers from being able to do their duties, which is a crime. So she was committing a crime. You see it on camera. The fact that you see on camera, she literally starts speeding towards the officer. You still got the left out there protesting. They're too damn dumb. The white women who are at these protests, too damn dumb to understand facts, reason, logic. And I don't know, again, like I don't understand why they are always like this, why it's always white women. But let me just show you some of the caliber of person that we're finding at these protests. Dude, I actually want, I'm sorry if this makes me a bad person. I want those white women to get so close that those ICE officers feel the need to defend themselves and just like, whoop, whoop. You don't get to do that. I mean, you see those agents, they're like they're cornering them. And I wouldn't necessarily be scared of a crazy liberal white woman who's screaming at me, but they're very mentally unwell. So I don't know. Best example I can give of this. Well, this woman who's yelling like, kill me, I don't know, to these ICE agents.
Shoot me! Go ahead! Go ahead! Go ahead! Shoot me! Shoot me! Go ahead! Shoot me! Shoot me! Shoot me! You want to shoot me? You want to shoot me? Shoot me!
It sounds like she has demons inside of her.
Shoot me! Pepper spray me! Hurt me! Shame on you!
How is she? The only time that I have heard someone able to produce like those two different tones at the same time in two different octaves coming from one voice has been in scary movies where they're possessed by demons. I don't know what else to think. That was a demon inside of her. If I tried to scream like that, I wouldn't be able to because I'm demon free. That's why. I don't understand why they always look like that. Why do they always look like that? Why do they always sound like that? Why do they always have the weird, crazy eyes? I don't understand why they always look like that. Because there are a lot of things that it could be. It could be the SSRIs. It could be something in the water. Maybe it's all the fluoride that they're drinking. Maybe it's all the ultra processed foods that they're like, RFK told me not to eat all this, so now I'm going to eat it all. And now they've got like I don't know. But I want it to stop because it's very scary. And I want to, I would be remiss if this is one of my favorite ones to show you. A woman who showed up at the protest who didn't do, the memorial. They had a memorial for Renee Good. And she couldn't even do enough digging to understand that Renee Good was actually just a white woman.
So, I'm just walking around kind of just dazed-eyed because I was like, I don't know if it's the right thing to do. It feels kind of wrong being here in some way. I don't know why.
And why do you think, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, like, where that stems from. Like, part of it is being like a white woman that I'm privileged and I have a lot of privilege. So I feel like white tears are not always something that's helpful or necessary when black and brown people have been experiencing this for a long time. This isn't new for them, and so
but
I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, it doesn't, ma'am. No, actually it doesn't. It was a white woman. There were no black or brown men or women harmed in this encounter. Did not even know who she was showing up to cry for, knew she needed to show up and cry her liberal tears, though. That's how stupid these people are, okay? I think that I've proven my point in the last several clips that I've just played. Some of them are just plain retarded. But as we've often said, many of them are paid agitators. Might I present to you the evidence that Laura Ingraham caught of this woman just admitting that she was paid to be there?
Shame! Shame!
Do you have a job?
So human rights.
Do you have a job?
Shame! Shame! I'm getting paid right now! Shame! Shame!
I'm getting paid right now was not the own that you think it was. Judging by Laura's reaction, they're like, oh, you guys actually made that really easy for me. That's what we came for. And you just gave it to us. Thank you. And I just want to play. They are really, really, really itching for another George Floyd moment. And let's check in on Black Lives Matter in Minnesota. They clearly just want to burn the city down again. They want a new pair of Nikes. They want to go get a Louis Vuitton, I guess, go loot and burn because that's all they know how to do. Here was one of their representatives.
Shut these streets down.
Yes.
Again. Make the city pay. Again. And again. They was worried about losing money when George Floyd died. We as a people can cause them to lose more money now. If we don't stand together, we're gonna fall. Together we stand, divided we fall.
She doesn't have to
We
yell.
as a
She's at a
community got to stop
microphone.
talking and do the work. We cannot work till somebody die again to do the work. ICE is a demon.
Oh, okay. Ma'am, ICE is not the demon. I just heard your white friend over there, and the sounds that were coming out of her mouth were clearly demonic. You should probably check her for the demon. But things are getting really, they're clearly, the left is itching for chaos. It's what the communists always want. The communists want the chaos, and they're getting it right now because we've got these no-go zones. Just like we saw in 2020, they've created no-go zones now in Minneapolis, blocking off areas so that law enforcement cannot get in and others who are unwelcome cannot get in. I would like to know what this administration is going to do about this. This cannot stand. This cannot stand. We need to give them the accountability of going out there and breaking the law. You know who else needs accountability? All of these people, all of these losers who are being emboldened by the Democrats, who are threatening ICE with more violence, doing it publicly on their own platforms, just threatening ICE with more violence, I guess thinking there will be no consequences to it.
What the America and Americans? How stupid are we to keep allowing this to happen? I say it's time for everybody to start getting guns and start coming out of their houses and start shooting these ICE agents in the head when they start trying to take over people.
Throw him in jail. Throw him in jail. Arrest him right now. Find him, arrest him, throw him in jail. I'm done with these people. Okay, I'm not scared of this like gay retard, but you just don't get to threaten people's lives in selfie mode and post it publicly and have no consequences. I'm done with this. And not scared of that one, but I mean, this is enough to arrest people. Let me show you one more that seems like he has a little bit more of an axe to grind.
Dear ICE, here's a message from your friendly neighborhood leftist. Not all of us are going to stop at snowballs in the future. So
were they stopping at snowballs?
Before you just start randomly shooting into vehicles.
Okay, buddy. Well, he's taken a while to get lined up at the target.
And some of us aren't just going to randomly fire into things. Some of us actually know how to aim.
Like, I'm go find these people and arrest them. You don't get to threaten people's lives like that. Now, before we go, let me just show you Jasmine Crockett, who has not wasted an opportunity to make this, about herself. But what she says is the most tone-deaf thing I think I've ever heard when it comes to the violent left and how they react when it's a Republican or a conservative who is attacked or killed. Listen to Jasmine Crockett yesterday.
I'm just asking if there's any decency or heart or courage on that side of the aisle. The fact that a woman was killed, she was shot in her head, and y'all are pretending like nothing happened. I remember when Charlie Kirk got killed. Do you remember what our response was? Our response wasn't to sit there and pretend like it was okay.
Oh, really? I don't know. Let's go back to, 4 months ago? Here's Jasmine Crockett on Charlie Kirk's assassination.
One of the things I do want to point out that's not been laid out that honestly hurts my heart is when I saw the no votes, there were only 2 Caucasians.
She's talking about,
for the most part, the only people that voted no were Charlie Kirk's life. Because the rhetoric that Charlie Kirk continuously put out there was rhetoric that specifically targeted people of color. And so it is unfortunate that even our colleagues could not see how harmful his rhetoric was, specifically to us.
Go yourself, Jasmine Crockett. Anywho, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Sara Gonzales Unfiltered. Also, make sure that you go subscribe to our new Clips channel. You can find that at Sara Gonzales Texas, all spelled out. And hit the like button. It'll help us out in the algorithm, which we all know is stacked against us. Want to thank our sponsor of this segment, Beam. So Beam Organics, it's great. I love it. It's great for people who, love American companies, because this is a company that's proudly founded in America, run by people who share our values, and they've built products that actually are very, very quality products. I use their Dream Powder. It's a nighttime blend packed with proven ingredients shown to improve sleep so you can wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day. It's made with a powerful blend of all natural ingredients. It's reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin, and it's designed to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling amazing. It tastes great too. They've got several different flavors. I love them all. They've got like salted caramel. They've got some chocolate ones. It's really, really great. So if you want to help an American company and you also want better sleep, just telling you, they've got like over 28 million nights of sleep that they've improved for people across America. If you've been waiting to try, the right time is now. They're offering my listeners an exclusive discount going into the new year. Go to shopbeam.com/Sarah G or Sarag. I don't know. Use code Sarag, Sarah G. Get my exclusive offer for up to 40% off Beam's Dream Powder. With my discount code Sarah G, you can get their best-selling Dream Powder for $39. It's $1.25 per night. Shopbeam.com/Sarah G. With everything else going on, I think that people may have forgotten. We have a Muslim commie running New York City. And I was like, I wonder how that's going. Not great. Not great. We're 9 days in. It's not going great. Okay. And I think that he, even in those short 9 days, has already realized he's cracked the code on how to get a bunch of quick cash. Now, it's very, very fraudulent. But it's interesting because he just announced his new multi-billion-dollar universal school, universal daycare. From age 2, we're going to teach your children. And he says something actually pretty interesting in his announcement. Watch.
Not only when we make pre-K truly universal, but expand this care to include all 2- and 3-year-olds across this city. As the governor said, we will deliver to care by working in partnership with childcare providers, especially home-based providers.
Oh boy, like the Quality Leering Center? Do they have a Quality Leering Center in New York City? I wonder. Maybe we should look into that. He's like, okay, now we know how to do, all of my policies are going to bankrupt the city. So we might as well try to enrich some people. We'll just open this program up to the daycares, especially the home-based daycares. You don't actually have to have a daycare. This is the state of New York City in 2025 under a Muslim commie mayor. And on top of that, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to who he's hiring, who he is staffing, but that's one of the scariest parts. One of his recent hires is C. Weaver, and she is the newly relaunched director of the Office to Protect Tenants, because they're like, oh, we're all about protecting tenants, those mean, evil landlords trying to actually make it work since they own property and need to make sure that that is a valuable investment for them. They're mean, and the tenants need free stuff, I guess. Well, she actually doesn't want to protect tenants at all. She wants to seize their property for the collective good, especially against, of course, white people. And as I say that, please notice, you're going to love when you see the color of her skin.
I think the reality is that for centuries, we've really treated property as an individualized good and not a collective good. Mm-hmm. And we are going to transitioning to treating it as a collective good and towards a model of shared equity.
Great.
Will require that we think about it differently. And it will mean that families, especially white families, but some POC families who are homeowners as well, are going to have a different relationship to property than the one that
That's a cute way of putting it. She doesn't want you to be able to own anything. You will own nothing, and you will be happy in good commie fashion. Except it's weird because you never end up happy in these instances. She also said in a deleted tweet, private property, including and kind of especially home ownership, is a weapon of white supremacy masquerading as wealth-building public policy. It is so funny that this, pale white woman, pasty white woman, has so much to say about white privilege, You would think like she had some sort of traumatic, did she grow up poor? Did she grow up, I don't know. Oh no, actually she's just another mentally ill white woman who grew up in a privileged household. She grew up in Nashville. Her mother owns a $1.4 million home. It's always the liberal, wealthy white women, always. And the Daily Mail asked her about that. They asked her, well, is that really racist? Like, what do you have to say about this? What do you have to say about this? Should your mother have to give up her $1.4 million home? No, she screamed, started crying, and then ran into her home, which of course had a Free Palestine poster on its window. That's how it's going. I mean, you couldn't make that up if you tried. That is already how it's going in New York City. The commies are not wasting any time, as we knew that they would. They're not wasting any time trying to implement. I mean, Zohran Mamdani is hiring this woman who does not believe in private property ownership. That is communist. And that is what New York City just voted for. Very, very dangerous and very, very scary. I feel bad for the Republicans, for the conservatives, for just the same people, actually. Even if they're Democrat, who still live there, I don't know that there's hope. I don't know if there's any hope. Get out, but don't come to Texas. We're all full. Anywho, want to thank our sponsor this segment, Kindred Harvest. So Kindred Harvest, I was just drinking their tea earlier today, actually. And I love when I drink their tea. I know if you guys buy tea, if you're buying it at the grocery store from some like grocery store brand, you're actually buying tea from China, and they have flooded America with products contaminated by microplastics, heavy metals. China doesn't care about your health. We already know that. China does not care about your health, but Kindred Harvest does. It's the American answer. It's third-party lab tested, zero microplastics, zero heavy metals, blended and packed right here in the USA, and there's no compromises. So they've got something for everyone. They've got morning energy. They've got evening herbal. They've got an immunity tea, which I was drinking earlier there's a bunch of bugs going around. I don't want them. So I'm drinking my immunity tea from Kindred Harvest. It's very, very Maha friendly. That's why you know I love it. You can go to kindredharvest.co, use code Sarah for 20% off. That is kindredharvest.co, code Sarah for 20% off. Some good news today. Scott Bessent, he has been really instrumental in trying to implement a lot of America First policies. And we see all of this Somali fraud that's happening. And we talk about all of the remittances that are sent over to these other countries. Well, Scott Bessent had an announcement yesterday on sending money overseas. Here's what he said.
And from now on, anyone who wires money out from one of these money service businesses has to check a box saying whether they are on public assistance. And if you are on public assistance, we are going to start pushing that you cannot wire money out of the country.
Oh, gosh. So what if they lie and they don't tell us for public assistance?
Well, then
that's a crime, lying on a federal form.
We're going to follow it up, and we are going to push that you can no longer do that. The American people, our generosity has been taken advantage of.
Our generosity is funding al-Shabaab, in Iranian interests, it could be.
Well, the money...
I mean, this is really bad.
The money is supposed to go for alleged asylum seekers and their families and children. And if you are wiring the money out of the country, one of two things must be true. You are getting too much money and your benefits should be cut, or you are part of this conspiracy.
So the Treasury Secretary was just like, if you're on public assistance, if the federal taxpayers are paying for you to live here, you're not allowed to send their money. It's not even your money, their money, my money. You're not allowed to send overseas. That should not be controversial at all. If you are so broke that you need taxpayer dollars, you are not allowed to send it overseas. You're not allowed to send it to your family overseas. You're not allowed to send it to terror groups overseas. You're not allowed to send it to anybody overseas. And when we talk about this, I mean, I can't give you an exact estimate of how much welfare money is going overseas because we have the money that goes overseas and we have the welfare assistance. So when you piece all of that together, you've got over half of immigrant-headed households that receive cash, food, medical care, or housing benefits from taxpayers. Over half, according to the Center for Immigration Studies. So that is what we do know. We know that over half of these people are taking more than they're bringing to the table. And they're taking from you and from me. In 2023, the money sent overseas by international migrants is almost 3 times as much as global foreign aid. Look at that chart. $822 billion versus $288 billion in foreign aid. So, I mean, listen, I'm not voting for the $288 billion shouldn't exist either. That should not exist either. I don't want to say that I'm electing people to vote to send my money away, but at least we have, United States representatives issuing that money out. This is just these people coming here, taking from us, and then sending it back home or sending it to their favorite terror group. That's this astronomical number. Even if you slash that figure in half, even if you just say, okay, well, half the households receive welfare, so it's not the full 800 and whatever billion, that's still over 400 billion. And I would still argue this is a great step. I'm very, very happy with Scott Bessent, but I would still argue that more needs to be done. We shouldn't allow remittances at all. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. They shouldn't be allowed to come here as a refugee. They shouldn't be allowed to come here and siphon off, take from us, and then send back home. We shouldn't allow that. No serious country should allow that. All right, I've got more to come. I'm going to welcome my friend to the show. But before I do that, I just want to remind you guys, if you have not yet subscribed to BlazeTV, go ahead and do that. Do it. For fun, for funsies. Come have fun with us. BlazeTV.com/Sarah. Use promo code Sarah. It'll get you like $20 off with promo code Sarah. That is BlazeTV.com/Sarah. Get more Sara Gonzales Unfiltered and so much more over there. BlazeTV.com/Sarah. Promo code Sarah. I want to welcome onto the show my friend, Jace Yarbrough, who he just announced he's got big news. He is actually running for Congress in Texas's 32nd district. We've got a lot of districts. Did I get that right?
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Texas 32.
Great. So you are now running, and it is a Democrat seat currently.
Well, currently it is, but I'm not running in the old version, right?
Exactly.
Finally, the Republicans went on offense, right? Did to the left, at least in part, what they've been doing to us for so long, and created 5 new Republican seats that will be sent to, 5 new Republicans are going to go to D.C. as part of the Texas delegation. Texas 32 is the new seat here in North Texas.
And we need to make sure that it's the right type of Republican, right?
Absolutely.
Because we've been co-opted by a bunch of Republicans, even in the state of Texas. I tell people this all the time. And if they're avid watchers of the show know this. People think of Texas as this like deep red, could never go blue type state. And that's just not the case. And a lot of it is in large part due to these Republicans who think, well, I'll just slap an R in front of my name and then run in this district. And then actually when I get to Washington, D.C., I'm not going to vote the way that my constituents want me to vote.
Yes. One of the big reasons we got into this race was to make sure that the people of the new Texas 32 had a reliable Republican, conservative that they could trust to go and fight for the America First agenda. The last thing we need is another weak-kneed Republican who's going to take us back to Biden's open border policies and the chaos that creates.
Yeah.
So we got into this race, and you're right. Unfortunately, Sarah, a big part of Texas politics right now is a number of folks who what they prefer is a seat at the table, and they know that the only way they can get it is if they run as a Republican. So they don't share the deep conservative convictions of the people that they represent. The people of Texas are very much with the president, very much with his agenda. Unfortunately, the folks who win a lot of the times around this state aren't always. And so at least for this seat, for this one of the 5, we were going to make sure we had a MAGA candidate, an America First candidate who had proven through past action and with the scar tissue to show that he's going to stand when the pressure's on.
Yeah, I want to just step back for a moment and remind everyone that even if they're in another state, this matters because we're looking at the majority in Congress now. I mean, we're hanging on by a very slim thread. And when you talk about the Republicans who don't always vote America First, every vote counts there.
Absolutely. And, God willing, Republicans are going to hold the House. We're going to maintain a margin. Hopefully, we're going to increase it. That's the whole point of the redistricting effort. But
historically, that's not the case. So we really need to work hard for it.
That's right. And if it is the case that we do lose the majority, then just imagine the kind of votes that are going to come up, the kind of pressure that's going to be applied to these freshman congressmen, right? And so we want to make sure that these 5 new seats, each one of them, including Texas 32, the one that I'm running for, have somebody that has already shown that they're going to stand with the president when the pressure's on.
Yeah, I want to go back to something I talked about earlier in the show, which was of course, the latest ICE shootings. You've got what happened in Portland with Border Patrol, and then you've got what happened with, the ICE officer in Minnesota. Are Democrats, I know the answer to this, but Democrats clearly putting more ICE officers in danger by vilifying this man. We have the video, the new video from him that just came out. The lesbian wife is like, drive, baby, drive. And then she seemingly guns it and hits him. What should be the consequences of all of these, whether it's mayors, whether it's governors, these Democrat state officials that are going out there and, impeding ICE officers, endangering their lives? What should be the consequences for that?
Well, let me say, first of all, this was absolutely an act of self-defense. Thanks be to God that this ICE agent responded the way that he did. Yeah. As somebody, my brother was a highway patrolman, Texas highway patrolman for 9 years. I would have wanted him to respond in exactly the same way if he had been in the situation, because I want him to go home to his wife and kids at night. And that's what's happening here. So thanks be to God for that. I stand with the president, fully supporting to the hilt these ICE agents who are out there making our communities and streets safer every day by putting their own lives on the line. But Democrats have proven not only are they going to ship millions of illegals into our country, but when the American people vote for mass deportations, vote to decide to take their country back, what do they do then? Well, they unleash lunatics on the streets. And then whenever mass deportations begin, they use their liberal judges and activist judges to stop and obstruct that process. And so for anyone involved, I think, like in so many other areas, there has to be accountability, right? Just because you are a governor of a state, if you engage in criminal activity, if you are aiding and abetting those who are particularly attacking and threatening and intimidating ICE agents, you should absolutely be held accountable for that. And I am grateful to see the Department of Justice taking steps to stand up a special assistant U.S. Attorney General, assistant to the Attorney General, and other resources specifically dedicated to this problem, which is not new, but thanks be to God, like so many things under the president, we are finally going on offense as Republicans and conservatives.
Yeah. What would you say are like the top 3 issues that you would want Congress to focus on?
Mm-hmm. I think that at the federal level, the things that are most important to our nation, number 1, immigration, visa reform, national identity. What does it mean to be an American? What does it mean to be a part of this project? What principles and ideas and ways of life do you have to buy into if you want to come and participate? Mm-hmm. The second one I would say is populist economics and affordability. That's got a domestic piece, but it's also got a kind of foreign piece, an international piece. Tariffs are the biggest sort of policy issue that tends to fall within this bucket. And then the last one I would say is an America First foreign policy. No more foreign wars. And as the president said in his most recent national security strategy, we're going to prioritize the Western Hemisphere. We're going to go back to the Monroe Doctrine with the Trump corollary and insist that if you, a foreign adversary, a foreign competitor, want to stand up or control assets in the Western Hemisphere, we're going to take that as an act of aggression and we're going to respond.
Yeah. With regard to the immigration issue,
yes,
what do we do about radical Islam?
First thing to say is America is a Christian nation. Thanks be to God for that heritage. That is the reason that so many generations of average Americans have been able to lead full and dignified lives. And we should embrace that heritage, be grateful for it. Americans are rightly concerned about radical Islam. The first introduction a lot of Americans had to Islam was 9/11.
Yeah.
And now, what are we seeing? We're seeing hordes of radical Islamic immigration. They come in and they explicitly, overtly attempt to stand up legal regimes and processes that are contrary to the American Constitution, inconsistent with the American spirit. And then within those groups, there are networks that are taking advantage of the generosity of the American taxpayer, right? These people, right? We should say unequivocally, Sharia law, not like banned across the United States. There is no universe in which Sharia-inspired norms, whether that's family law, financing, criminal justice, any of that stuff, has no place here. And then finally, if you are even a naturalized citizen.
Okay, go ahead, lay it on me.
You take advantage.
I was waiting for.
You take advantage of the American taxpayer. You will be aggressively prosecuted.
Great.
You will be denaturalized if necessary, and you will be sent back home.
Yes, that's where. Can I just, if I may, that's where I need every single Republican member of Congress to have that energy. Like we need to, they're going to call you all the mean names anyway. They're going to call you an Islamophobe. They're going to call you a racist. They're going to call you a xenophobe. So just do the right thing anyway. And the fact of the matter is they're all signing these forms when they become naturalized, saying that they're going to denounce all of their allegiances, all of their ties to all of this other stuff. And then they come here and they're going to support United States law and United States Constitution. And that's not what they're doing, and there are no consequences for that right now.
Yes, and the biggest impact is felt by working and middle-class Americans, right? The ones who can't buffer themselves from the chaos that's created by people who are introduced into our country, preferred by our prestige institutions like universities, and then preferred in the job market, right? common spaces start to break down, right? If you're rich and wealthy and you can hire your own police force basically to protect yourself, you don't have to go to the local public school. You don't have to rely on, various corporations you don't want to do business with. You're fine.
Right.
But it's the average people. And so, a lot of times the left will come at us, right? And they'll try to use, for example, our Christianity against us on this issue, right? Say, oh, you need to welcome the stranger. And I say, look, I have to make a preference call here. Yeah. And I absolutely prefer my own children. And as a government, your primary responsibility is to your own citizens. And so in all of these issues, I stand with the president when he says, look, our immigration policy should prefer, in the first instance, our own people. It's American families first. It's American students, American workers. These are the ones that our immigration policy is going to be oriented around supporting. And if you're not on board with that, you need to go somewhere else. And the last thing we need is somebody who's going to cave when the left comes with these ridiculous arguments and pressure.
Well, and unfortunately, you are running against, in the Republican primary, someone who I believe will cave to that Democrat pressure with regard to immigration, especially. So how is it going?
So we launched. Our hard launch was Monday. This is our first week on the campaign trail. It's going incredibly well. Right. We've gotten a lot of. I love being out there, meeting people, talking with things and issues because we share the same values. So this new Texas 32 is a Trump plus 17 district.
Right.
These are committed patriots. They love their families. They invest in their communities. They want national cohesion. They want to be one with their neighbors. And you're right. My main opponent in this race is somebody who has already proven. He ran against the president. For President of the United States last cycle. And I encourage your listeners to go and do their own homework. I mean, there are tons of interviews talking about his stance on immigration, which is very different than mine. Yes. So, he is okay with things like the quote unquote Bipartisan Dignity Act, for example.
It's a pro-amnesty guy. That for me, it's like that tells you all you need to know.
Yes.
Jace is encouraging you to go out and listen. I'm not. I'm just saying, I'm telling you, just go read a headline. He's pro-amnesty. He is not pro-mass deportations. He thinks it's mean and sad that we're actually deporting illegal criminals. That's all you need to know. In my opinion, sorry, Jace, love you. But in my opinion, don't even bother. Don't even bother. Because if he is like that on this issue, he is not America first. He is not a Trump guy. So if you are a Trump, MAGA, America First supporter, you don't need to even consider him, in my personal opinion. I'm very happy to endorse you, Jace. I wish you the best of luck. Tell everyone where they can go to find more out about you, to perhaps donate, obviously, all of this. Oh, by the way, let me just say one more thing about your opponent. He is very rich. So he has a lot of money to spend, is my point.
Yeah.
So you guys need money.
Yes, yeah. So my opponent did spend $11 million against the president last cycle. I am not financially independent in that way. Certainly not to that tune. But yes, if you're, I'd appreciate if folks would go to Jace for Congress. That's JACEFOR Congress.com. You can also follow me various social media platforms. X, for example, I'm at Jace Yarbrough. So JACEYARBROUGH. Would appreciate any and all support and help. There are various ways to get involved.
Great. Love it. Make sure that you go there. And I mean, I'm just saying, if you guys want all the illegals gone and if you want all these Somali criminals gone, Jace is the guy to make sure to get to Congress. Jace Yarbrough, my friend, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on, Sarah.
And that's it for us for the week. A whole new week, a whole new year in the books, and we will be back next week. Who knows what's going to happen in between now and then? Stay tuned. We'll see you then.